Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is that dude, my dude. Welcome back to another issue of Explained by C Student. Today, we are going to be talking about the Roots Picnic 2025 and all the controversy surrounding it. So, the Roots Picnic, an annual music festival held in Philadelphia and hosted by the Roots, faced significant controversy this year during the festival over the weekend. And it took place on May 31st and June 1st for those who want like specific dates and all that, over at the Mann Center in Fairmount Park. A lot of the issues, it basically stem from logistical and organizational challenges on the first day due to inclement weather, as well as a lot of safety precautions from events that happened earlier in that week. For those who are not aware, there was a mass, in that park literally the same week on Memorial Day, where 2 people didn't make it and there were 9 people who were injured. So with that in mind, it should have already been taken into account that it was potentially going to be a shit show. And as stated before, one of the main issues was inclement weather, and that led to very unfavorable conditions. There was a big storm that came through about a day or 2 days before. So the park itself, where the event was being held at, there was nothing but mud and rain puddles and all that good stuff. And also, usually after it rains, it tends to warm up because of all the moisture in the air. There's a lot of humidity that goes along with it. So due to this, the inclement weather created conditions that caused a lot of delays for people to get into the event. So there were reports that some people were waiting anywhere from 2 up to 4 hours just to get in, bro. And in addition to the lackluster conditions created by the weather and the delays, there was also a reported lack of direction from the staff that was there. So whoever you went to go get some help, 9 out of 10 times they didn't even know what was going on. And for someone who has worked the festival scene in the past, this is kind of common. And in addition to the mass staff confusion as well as the mass patron confusion, there was also reports of limited amenities being available, which is counterproductive to have these events, because how you going to have an event you ain't going to have no water? And it even got so bad that there were reports of people passing out from the heat and the lack of water and so on and so forth. So these are just some of the safety concerns. I hope you guys can hear me over the cars, because I'm literally just walking home right now. But yeah, that's what was going on over there. And another thing that really ticked people off was the people who paid for VIP, VIP Plus, General Admission Plus, pretty much anybody who paid for a ticket, they felt like they didn't get their money's worth. And honestly, I'd have to agree with them. There were even some people going as far to say that it was like a Survivor type experience, which is kind of wild. And that's also kind of deterred me from a lot of the festival scene, because you just have to go to one bad festival and that will ruin your experience for all festivals going forward and things of that sort. And it's unfortunate, but I kind of think that festival scene, all that is done, bro, because a lot of it is seen as a big money grab, and it doesn't make sense to pay all that money to see your favorite artist perform for 15, 20, 30 minutes when you could just go to a show of theirs and get a whole set from them, fam. And speaking of sets, one of the biggest artists who was supposed to perform there, D'Angelo, he ended up canceling, and in turn, that turned a lot of people off, because a lot of people purchase a ticket simply so they can see D'Angelo. You feel me? And I believe it might have been the 25th anniversary of Voodoo. So, a lot of people was really looking forward to coming out to see D'Angelo perform. Yeah, there were other people there. There was Lenny Kravitz there and things of that sort. And even he voiced his displeasure with the way things turned out as far as logistics and all that good stuff. But he made the best of the situation. But, it was an overall bad experience for a lot of people. And they compared it to other years where they faced similar situations, but not at this scale. So, it's one of those things that they could have planned for prior to, but chose not to, and in turn, the guests or the paying customers ended up paying the price, because we all know people still got paid, bruh. And there were official apologies from the organizers and Questlove, but honestly, it's a little too late, because it's not like we didn't have the information beforehand that it was going to rain, and you could have took special precautions. You just could have done something, and you chose to do nothing. So honestly, the apology really ain't cutting it. But it does lead to a bigger issue of how these companies really control the price and the experiences that we're having. I'm talking about you, Live Nation. Live Nation has created a monopoly on a live music experience, but that's a whole nother video within itself. And I don't know, we might cover it, we might not. I don't know, y'all gotta let me know. But overall, the Roots Picnic, it suffered from a lot of things. It suffered from poor planning, poor communication, inadequate amenities, weather-related delays, and, a subpar VIP experience. And honestly, the criticism is just. It's rightfully deserved. Because, like I said, when you have the information beforehand, it doesn't make any sense not to take precautions in order to secure your customer experience is a good one. And it's like these festivals are turning out to be a money grab. Well, I always thought they were a money grab. But, now it's becoming clear and evident. There's one festival that I want to attend, and that's the Odd Future Camp Flog Gnaw festival that Tyler's been putting on since I was like 2016, 2017. I've been wanting to go to that one for years. But other than that, I don't want to go to no Rolling Loud. I don't want to go to no Rock the Bells. Even if they do that, I don't even know, bro. The last festival that I remember going to was probably... It was around Made in America, but I think it was Rock the Bells. I think it was Rock the Bells. Rock the Bells, New Jersey. Caught out in the rain. Got to see Joe Budden and Common and Nas and Lauryn Hill and all that good stuff. But it was just like the overall experience wasn't worth it. And I got in for free. But yeah, I don't want to rant. I don't want to make this any longer than I already have. The live videos, it is a better experience because I can just get the information out there, but I'm going to have to find a way to make this shorter. So, thank y'all for bearing with me. This has been the second issue of the live Explained by C Student. And yeah, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all want me to cover next. And this has been another... Oh, and also, I need to figure out how to do the little duet thing to have the video playing in the background while I'm talking over it. I don't know how to do that. Just help Unc out, all right? But this has been another issue of Explained by C Student. I'm your host, That Dude, My Dude. And until next time, I'm out. Like big toes and small socks. Peace.